My favourite time of the year is when the latest Pokemon game turns 7 years old is automatically good again. The day Sun and Moon gets let out, that's the time when I start becoming like against it.
I think that's next year. That game came out 2016, didn't it?
That's where I draw the line, dude. Make sure to vote in that election, guys, because that's rigged. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the HGO podcast. I am one of your hosts today, Ethan, and joining me, as always, are my good friends, Hunter and Kyle. Hey, guys, how you doing?
I'm doing just swell.
Hi.
Oh, I'm tired, dude. This is going to be a fun one. I can tell, because my voice is dead. I've been away, and I don't know. It's one of those things where I'm like, is it COVID, or is it a sore throat? I don't know. I hope it's not COVID, because that'd be some quick turnaround. Like, we've got, like, the Gamma version, dude, that's coming to hunt me down. If it's like within 24 hours you're gone, it's over. But no,
Finally,
it's gonna be a rough one.
Super
COVID. If Nintendo named it.
The fabled COVID 20.
Exactly.
COVID U.
The COVID U.
Is that what Zombie U was about? Wow. You learn
Yeah,
something new every day.
probably.
Learn something new. But now, how you guys been? How have you been?
Oh, I've been alright. I've been assailed by my lungs the past 2 days.
Yeah.
You guys have heard all about that, though.
Yeah.
Hiccups are the worst when they don't stop.
Hunter
all
is-
you people out there.
Hunter is one of those people, like, there are people that can control their hiccups, there are people that don't really hiccup, and then there are the people who are the victim of hiccups, who can't stop, won't stop, not gonna stop. And Hunter is one of those people where he's tried all the voodoo tricks you can think of, holding your breath, swallowing, drinking water, sticking peanut butter down his throat. He's tried it all, and
I can't have anyone scare me because it doesn't work.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's just a bit tragic, but hey ho. You're not hiccuping yet. That'd be funny if you did that during
No,
a podcast.
it's not happened today. It would be hilarious if it put itself off all day just to happen during the podcast.
Yeah, that sounds like the right thing though. That sounds like something that would happen. So I'm sure it'll happen one day.
Yeah.
Who knows when? Place your bets in the comments. Give us an episode number and we'll see if it happens. And you will win. I don't know. I'll give you $100 because that's impressive if you actually do it. And that drives viewer engagement. Wow. Hey, let's go. Everyone put a random number in. And Hunter, you're not allowed because I'm not having you forcing hiccups. And Kyle, you're not allowed either because you're not teaming with him and getting $50
I wouldn't
each.
try to do that. It's not worth it.
Wow. Okay. What? Not? It's not worth putting a number in the YouTube comment section. Wow.
Trying to force my hiccups?
Oh yeah, true.
You forget that the physical part has to be me who does it.
Can you even force hiccups to happen? Is that a thing?
I'm sure that if I downed enough soda at once, it would happen. Like normally this happens in response to consuming something. The reason it was so weird the past 2 days was because that's not what happened. It just happened randomly. Because I guess my life was too good up to now.
Fair enough. But anyway, this isn't hiccuping gamers only, it's hot gamers only. And every week we come to you and talk about everything that's happening in the world of
acronym
gaming.
would be the same, though.
It would, that's why I said it. That's why I said it. That was the joke. Well done, Hunter. Anyway,
comedy.
Comedy, everybody.
Ethan, press the laugh track button.
It's not on my hot deck right now, so I can't. But I said everything that's hot in the world of gaming. Gaming is over. 2022 is cancelled. If you didn't see, Xbox has pulled out of 2022. They were like, dip, see you later. We'll just pay some third-party Game Pass thing in the fall. There you go. See you guys. And don't worry, all you Sony fans thinking that you're on your high horse, just you wait, because God of War's also coming down
God
with
of
you
War's
in a bit.
getting cancelled in a week. Or not cancelled, but
Cancelled.
pushed.
Cancelled.
But
Could you imagine?
So yeah, it might just we thought it was going to be a top, like we thought it was going to be like 3x3 May or Topic May, and then it might just turn into
It's going to be 3x3 2022.
Maybe we should make it 2x2x2 instead. Think about it, 3-dimension.
Yeah.
What?
Think about it.
Yeah, 2x2x2.
Yeah, we'll just go 2x2x2. We'll think about it. We'll work that out. We'll take that to the technician side. We'll get our brainiest people on it, and by brainiest people I mean Jack. So good luck, Jack.
Oh no.
We'll see how well you do. But yeah, in terms of housekeeping, we've got nothing really. Just we've got a video coming out on Friday. Hunter's got a video coming out. A special
Sure
video.
do.
It's celebrating the anniversary of Transistor.
Yeah.
And it's a cool
That game I like so much.
Yeah. And it's a video that you should check out. I haven't watched it yet. It's up on private. I haven't seen it, but I assume it's good.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not. Maybe I'll re-edit in post. Re-edit in post, even watch it when you wake up tomorrow morning. And if it's terrible, remove the fucking remove the advertisement. No, I wouldn't do that.
So maybe I don't know how to read a chat, but I didn't realize this was going on our channel.
Yeah, it is apparently.
I thought it was just going to Hunter's personal.
No, it's going on our channel. And then if it does
Why
terrible,
would I have to tell you about it?
Hunter, I don't know how to read.
Cal doesn't. Cal's like
I read that
50%
message when
in.
I woke up at like 7 in the morning, and I didn't.
Oh,
read
hey,
it
I
again.
wrote it at like 4 in the morning.
Pog, why are you awake at 4 in the morning?
Who isn't?
I was playing Metal Gear Rising, you know?
Fair. But regardless, that's the only housekeeping we have. So please go and watch it. Please give that some support if you don't mind. It's something new for the channel. It's something that we haven't done before. So and if you like more of it,
It's experimental.
let us know, and we'll do more stuff like that every now and again. And then other than that, thank you for your continued support. Thank you for the subscriptions on YouTube at .com/HotGamesOnly. And thank you for all the viewers and listeners, especially podcast listeners, who have been growing steadily over the past couple of weeks. I don't know if it's because summer's here and summertime means locking yourself indoors and not going outside, but thank you for the support.
Hey man, it gets toasty out there and it's super uncomfortable.
Then everything just becomes miserable.
Yeah, I mean, we're just going to inch ever closer to Summer Games Mess, where we get a nice peak, and then we get the beautiful trough of the news has been spilt. Everybody go home. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
But it's going to be fun. Hunter, I'm going to let you kind of take a bit of a leading role here, because I wasn't even sure I was going to be on this episode because I was traveling. So you came up with an idea that you and Cal were going to do by yourselves, and now I'm tagging along for this ride, this little journey that we're having. So, do you want to let the good people know what we're going to be talking about this week?
Alright, so the topic this week is our favorite and or least favorite. Probably least favorite.
Least
'cause
favorite.
These guys
Least
just
favorite.
hate everything.
I fucking
It's
despise
true.
video games.
Misery sells.
Yeah.
Hate gets
Tropes in video games. Because it kind of spurned off of thinking about the character thing from last week, and, you know, it was kind of born out of analyzing the tropes in characters that Kyle likes and applying it to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured, why not just broaden it to video games in general instead of just the characters that we happen to enjoy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're basically going to be talking about video game tropes, all those kinds of things. And what I would really like to know is if you have any video game tropes that you despise or like, but mainly despise, because I love hatred, let us know in the comments. Let us know.
Negative gamers only.
Negative gamers only, dude. That's what we were originally going to be called, was negative gamers only. It's true.
So in other words, just gamers only.
Gamers only. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, true.
Exactly. But yeah, let us know, even in the comment section or at hotgamesonly@gmail.com. I want to know from you, because there's so many tropes that most tropes I hate, because I feel like if I'm like, oh, they're doing a trope, I'm never going, oh, they're doing a trope. That's that quirky trope. I'm always like, oh, we're doing this shit. So, I'll let you start, Hunter, because it was your idea after all. Are you going to start positive? Are you going to start negative? I don't know. Where are we going on this roller coaster? I feel like you should start positive.
I'll start positive, since I'm the only one who has any positive ones written down.
It's funny because from audio listeners and maybe video listeners as well, if you looked at us and you'd look at our appearances, you'd probably think, who's the person that probably has the edgier or negative opinions? And then they'd all point at Hunter or audibly point at Hunter's voice.
Audibly point at my voice. That's hilarious. But it really is funny, because in my own life, a lot of people tend to think that I'm in a bad mood, when really I'm probably in a better mood than most of these people making that assumption.
Yeah, probably. You're probably true. But yeah, regardless, give us a positive trope then, because I want to know what you consider a positive trope.
I really like it when games start off with a sweet opening movie, either before you start playing, or like after you already have engaged the new game.
Okay.
It's really cool for setting the tone, and more often than not, if it is really good, I'll probably watch it every time I turn on the game.
Okay.
Examples include Tales of Arise, Metal Gear Solids 2 and 3, Persona 5.
I've got a counter argument. I've got a counter argument. I fucking hate when they have video game movies at the start of the game. No, I'm just kidding. I hate them for the most part. I hate them when they give spoilers from the get-go. And I fucking I despise it. It's like I hate how Persona has to literally go, here you go. Here's every potential character that you're going to meet over the next journey that actually matters to the story. I'm like, leave some surprises, you know? The reason that I liked Persona 5 so much was I knew fuck all. And I skipped the cutscene at the start. I wasn't paying attention. And as Kyle knows, I apparently noticed nobody in the background of the Smash stage. So I was completely oblivious to everything. And it's like, I hate that about it, like especially JRPGs where they're like, look, here's the thing, and oh look, we're gonna make a quick little subtle hint at that guy might be the villain, guys. Let's look at Royal's intro real quick. Oh, look at him. He looks cool, doesn't he? But he might have a darker side. Who knows? And it's like, fuck off, dude. There's a difference between setting the tone and fucking ruining the plot. Like, calm down.
Yeah.
Can we have a middle ground?
I mean, yeah, that's fair enough. But also, I'm struggling to think of one of these movies that actually would have ruined it beyond just me being able to make an assumption off of the first couple of interactions with any of these people anyway.
No, I'm just like, it's like
Golden.
Persona 4 Golden does ruin in the intro, yeah.
With its intro, basically.
That
like,
one wasn't
you,
very
like...
good, so I only saw it once.
Persona 4 Golden does.
It tells you it tells you what all the characters are all about. Like I remember with Conchi, like he's got the little stuffed animal bunny in the background.
I do not remember that.
It has literally everything.
But,
and also, it gives
the harmonica song sucked, so I only watched it
in a
once.
garbage can.
And it's like, it literally is. It's like, it's as if the people are like, look, we've played this game, you haven't, dude. Look at this shit. And it's like, no. I'm like, don't. Because it's like, it sucks. And it's even like small stuff. It's like seeing the intro to Persona 5 and going, oh, look, there's Makoto. Then when she enters the game and she's a miserable bitch to you, you're like, oh, I know in 30 hours we're going to be great. Whereas I was just like, this fucker's fucking annoying. And then when she joined the party, I'm like, fuck off. Like, get away. Like, I could probably, like, assume, yes, I could make that assumption because she's in the game a lot. But at the same time, I still was like, fuck off, dude. Get the fuck away from me. That's just how it is. I just don't like it's mainly with JRPGs where it's like I don't like where they're like we feel like we need to show you every single character. Like, dude, you didn't even show Haru in the main game. Why are you showing her in the fucking intro?
It's also really good in fighting games. Fighting games have like sick opening movies.
No,
Soul
I'll
Calibur 2 is an all-timer.
Soul Calibur 2 is a good one. BB Tech has a really sick anime intro that shows all the characters.
No, in non-story heavy games, I'm perfectly fine. It's mainly my gripe is with JRPGs. That's basically where my gripe lies. There's probably a few exceptions to that rule as well that are non-JRPGs.
Dante and Deadpool get to have an entire like bar shootout in the movie for Marvel vs. Capcom 3. That was pretty sick.
Dude, you know where I think those opening movies really peaked was on the PS1 with those intro FMVs. Those things were fucking sick with what they did back then. Those things were so dope. Like, there were times I'd just load up Chrono Cross just to watch the intro. Nothing else. Wouldn't even play the game. Final Fantasy VIII, Fated Children, banger soundtrack.
Is that what that's called?
It has
I know it has like a Latin name.
It has a Latin
I just
name,
didn't
that's
ever.
What it translates
I
to.
forgot the translation.
No, say the Latin. You absolute casual. Do it.
Fatili Liberi, I want to say.
Something like that.
He tried. Yeah. I'll give him props. He tried. No. But
that's a banger track. And it gives, like, no spoilers. FF8's great. Y'all should play
That's
FF8.
great, dude. Dude. I love it, dude. But no. It's mainly those montages. It's mainly those montages. I do love a good movie at the start, though, that sets the tone. When you, like, set it, like, the Persona 5 intro where it's in the casino, that shit's great. Love that shit. Sets the tone instantly. Yeah. Love it. Those kind of stuff, good. Fucking montages of here's the shit you're going to do for the next 100 hours. By the way, look at this fucker, you won't see him until 80 hours in. You're like, no, why? Leave him out of it. Come on. Don't deal with it. Can I get another JRPG hatred thing out of the way while I'm still here, while I'm still living and breathing? One trope that I absolutely despise, and this is straight to Persona again. Favorite game of all time, by the way, but especially at Persona. But it goes for Xenoblade. It goes for everything. I hate the whole idea of friendship groups or parties or everything in a JRPG being centered around the main protagonist. I hate the idea that you only have relationships between the people. It's like a spider web, but there's no fucking attachments to the others really, except a couple of bits of dialogue. I fucking hate it. How in the Phantom Thieves, it's just everybody's friends with Joker, but there is literally like 1 or 2 examples of you hearing about the other people hanging out with each other. Or in Xenoblade, it's like Shulk is friends with Melia, and Shulk is friends with Ryan, and you've got like, okay, yeah, Ryan, Dunban, and Fiora, and all of them all have a link because they come from the same village, and maybe Ricky and Melia because they're nice to each other, but there's no actual fucking engagement there. Sometimes I just like to
be fair.
Yeah, and Charlotte just doesn't exist.
You've specified JRPGs, but I think most RPGs in general, like in the West too, are guilty of this.
I disagree. Well, it depends what you class as an RPG. For example, you haven't played it, but a great one for me is Red Dead Redemption 2 does this perfectly, where you can just walk around the camp and people don't give a shit about you, and they just have conversations with each other, and you can feel the relationships and the dynamics from them because Dutch and fucking Bill Williamson are just having a conversation, and you can just instantly gather the relationship and the tone. And it's like, in JRPGs in particular, you never really, other than these weird like offshoot storylines where you like see like the CIA agents talking to each other, and so not CIA, but whatever the Japanese equivalent of CIA agents are in Persona 5, right? Talking to each other, going the Phantom Thieves, shit like that. You don't ever just see an offshoot of Ryuji and Anna just hanging out, and then something just happens. You don't get any of that shit. It's always just either main character on with the side character, or a group where they're all talking to you, and because you're said insert player character, they all treat it as if you're the importance, even though they're in a group as well. And it's like, don't get me wrong, I love it. It does great for my ego. Absolutely adore it. But at the same time, I just wish that, especially in JRPGs, there'd be more of a focus between other characters. I can say this for every fucking video game though. It's like everyone always is talking about Cloud and Aerith or Cloud and Tifa, and I'm like, yo, dude, my favorite moments in Remake are like the few moments where fucking just Aerith and Tifa are just talking to each other, because it's like you don't get that shit.
The beatdown they deliver to Corneo's thugs after they break free is amazing.
And I'm like, you don't get that shit. And I'm like, I'm just like, why? The whole idea of having a party is you have this whole varied cast of characters. So why am I only seeing the interactions with the main protagonist? Like, come on, I want to see more shit other than one or two.
Final Fantasy's funny because in a lot of instances there are like inversions of this. Like 6's cast rotates all the time. 9 spreads the group out pretty frequently. There are just some that are more important than others. 10 is fun because Titus is considerably less important than Yuna to the relationships for most of the party. So,
and don't get me wrong, it's like some that do there's small bits and pieces, right? But it's like you still can all. So it almost feels like it's like, yes, because a lot of these, it's like hero's journey, right? This one person, this main character, has built this group around them, right? But there's no real proof. They always like to do like, because it's a Japanese RPG, right? We're a team, we're all in this together, we're all good friends, we're all good chums. But you have no single fucking proof to me that if you remove that main character, that the rest of you would function as a fucking group, as just in terms of just talking to each other, never mind as a team. It's literally like saying, oh, imagine if the Avengers, it was just like, oh, dude, everybody knows Captain America, but they literally don't fucking talk to anybody else, dude. That's literally it. They only talk to Cap, dude. They either talk to Cap or in a group. There's no like little in groups. You'll see little moments of it, right? You'll see like Yusuke and Futaba have little bickers between each other because they obviously don't get, like, they get on each other's nerves, they like annoying each other, right? You get little bits and pieces, but you don't get any substance, really.
Yeah. I think part of that might also be, like, maybe you're just supposed to assume that happens.
Yeah, and obviously everyone, you assume that it happens, right? But it's like, people do make the valid point of, literally... there's no proof of it, and it's very easy in a story to just be like, oh, we were hanging out.
Persona 5 would be is already really long. Having more of it, not that I would complain, but like
yeah, but they do have moments of it where it's like, oh, we were hanging out, so we just hopped over here, or did you see what happened? We came together, or stuff like that. But it's just like, no, it's just like everybody's just like literally text message chain. Persona 5 is literally the group chat, and it's great because it's. Yeah. Trust me, I speak to my friends more in the group chat than in real life as well. But it's also, there's the assumption there of everybody talking to each other, where really it's just everybody bullying Ryuji and that's about it. And it's like, okay, come on. I'd love some more dynamics between people. And like I say, there are Western RPGs that have done it.
I'm going to quickly throw Persona 3 into the ring here, because
let's just beat up Persona fans. We've celebrated you too much.
I'm not beating up Persona fans. I'm applauding P3 right now. I think that the dorm setting that you go back to every night really suits that.
Do you know what?
When you come back home, you see everyone just like hanging around in the common area.
Do you know what? I 100% agree with that. And my one wish for Persona 6 in the future, and I said this before, and I don't think they'll do it because I still think it would be a high school. But my one wish was change it from second year of high school to first year of university and have them live in dorms. That would be not from like an age perspective, not for anything like that. Just have them all living together. That's such a good way to have them actually hanging out more, because it's like we've had father figure twice in a row now with 4 and 5. And don't get me wrong, they're both fantastic. And if anything, like I love both of them, but I even like Sejiro more, so it's like they even did it and then they went, let's do it again and make you have a horny dad buddies who's also excellent. Like, hell yeah, let's go. Yes.
And the other cool thing is that, like, with P3's starting cast, like, you see that Mitsuru, Akihiko, and Yukari have already been living in the dorm together with each other, so they have a history with each other. And then main character enters, and then a few weeks later, Junpei enters, so you kind of just get, like, a gradual build of people coming into the dorm. And I think that's super cool.
Definitely. And it's like, I do think that a lot of the solutions to that is, again, like building up that engagement. And I think, especially with Persona to a fault, is it's such a long game.
Mm-hmm.
But apart from social links, and there are events, don't get me wrong, I'm sure someone is sitting there going, but there's like, Ryuji shows up in Anne's social link at one point, and it's like people show up in these other ones, and it's like, yes, they do. They show up for like once or twice. But still, you're there.
One of my favorites was when EY shows up while you're hanging out with Futaba.
Yeah, and it's just random shit like that.
Oh, this is fun.
But it's like, you just don't get it. And I feel like, I genuinely think you nailed it, Kyle, where it's like, for stuff like that, it's like that camp kind of setting. I'm not expecting like cutscenes after cutscenes. And with Persona, it's so linear that it's kind of a struggle, because other RPGs, especially Western RPGs, have side quests to develop those connections and stuff like that with other characters between each other more in those kinds of regards. And I think the idea of like why I love it in Red Dead 2 and why I think it is there's a base camp, there's somewhere where everybody like the main cast are always in a set location and are always interacting with each other, whereas in Persona 4 and Persona 5 they're just fucking everywhere, and it's like there's no consistency to it. Why the fuck is Anne at the same shop every damn day? It's like fair enough, but it's also like, yeah, she can be out of the shops a couple of days, but then if she was back at the dorm, you'd have a different place to go to, and you wouldn't have to go, shit, we only have this one specified area in Tokyo that we've put Anne in, because it's either school or there, and then you could have school, you could have a place outside, and you can have the dorms. And I think it also solves the problem of having the main cast only be available in the day. Have the main cast available in day and night, for fuck's sake, Persona.
Honestly.
Write it down. You won't. You won't, and we'll definitely have a dad again. But I'm like, to do it.
These are all they're being written down, and they're being put in the same column as female main character option.
True. But no, I swear that's it. I will not rant on Persona anymore, probably. But like I say, I just want more interactions, dude. Because I love interactions and I love group interactions. But it's also like, man, I just like to see like fucking Yusuke and Futaba have to deal with something on their own for a while. And just them for a while, be funny. Just like big chill with that. Big casts, you want to see interactions with other people other than just the main character.
Things that could have been done in the anime.
Oh, it's a shame, dude. Also, though, you shouldn't rely on an anime adaptation of a video game.
Well, yeah, but like
you
can be a bit more unfocused with the anime, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whereas with the video game story, it'd be weird if you just took like a 20-minute detour to go mess with Futaba and Yusuke. I wouldn't be against it. I'm just saying it'd be weird. Pacing wise.
True. Anyway, Kyle, I've been monologuing too much. Everybody's like, God damn it, he's at it again. When will they fucking remove him from the podcast?
He was tired.
Yeah, I thought he said... Don't you think he looks tired? Doesn't sound it. So come on, Kyle. You have come ready to hate. So what have you?
Yeah, dude. We're bringing out the negativity stick today.
Hell yeah.
So my opening one is when you do a boss fight and you win the fight, and then the cutscene plays, and you just get your shit pressed in the cutscene.
Amen, brother. Preach it. Preach it to the people in the back. Preach it to Monolith.
Better or worse than those ones that force you to lose?
I'd rather they force you to lose.
I'd rather they force you to lose, yeah.
I'd rather they kick the shit out of you in the actual battle than actually winning and then them going, haha, you lose, good day. Like,
when
no,
story-wise you're meant to lose anyways. Xenoblade
Monolith,
2
you are
is a
literally
bad offender of this.
Xenoblade 1 is as well. Monolith just has a bad rap. Stop it. Like, it's so bad. It's... I hate this trope with a passion.
It's just like, so annoying, too. It's like, what's the fucking point?
Yeah, it's like there is
I get
no
when it's
point.
like, you just like whittle them down to a certain point and then the cutscene starts. But if it's like, get rid of their whole health bar. Alright, we're gonna kick the shit out of you now, Rex. Ready to get your shit pressed in? No? Too bad.
Or, hear me out, right? I would also like it that if you are always destined to fail, if you actually do fucking fail, play the damn cutscene. Don't then make me do the boss fight again to win and then fail.
Until you win to lose.
If it is going to be really a boss fight where you fail, let me actually fail and then it go into the cutscene and me go, oh shit, it was a fight I couldn't win anyway. Regardless, cool.
It's so dumb and it's such a video game thing to do. Yeah, like you can't do this anywhere else.
Yeah, it's not like you see a movie and it's like, oh, there you go, final fight, and okay, they've lost, guys. There you go. He just punched Thanos. Thanos is dead, and oh wait, no, Thanos resurrected himself, and now there we go. It's like, there we go. Now there's another 5 hours of the movie. It's like
at least said round 2.
It's called Endgame.
At least, at least with Infinity War, they split it up into 2 fucking movies. That's the thing. Yeah. And you can make the argument that Thanos is the protagonist of Infinity War, and he won. So Thanos won that war. Yeah. Whereas it's not like Thanos basically just in Infinity War just fucking pub stomped those kids, dude. He was like, he went into the Splatoon lobby with the 8-year-olds and just like fucking destroyed them, right? And it's like, imagine if Thanos literally beat the shit out of all the Avengers, grabbed the final stone, put it in, and then a random fucking arbitrary cutscene came in where like fucking, I don't know, Iron Man just flew in and grabbed a stone and went, no!
Yeah.
That's for the final film. No. Like, it's just so dumb. Like, no, I hate it. You just don't... Yeah. It's only because it's an interactive medium. It's literally because it's an interactive medium. But like I say, if you want to lose, make him lose.
Devil May Cry 5 does a really funny inversion of this, where if you do lose to the guy you're supposed to lose to, it does just jump to the cutscene. But at the very first time you fight him, it's possible to win, and it will
and it just ends the game.
It just ends the game. It's hilarious.
I do want to say, I do love tropes where games do stuff like this with boss fights or wins, where it's like they'll say something like it will subvert your expectations. And my greatest example of this is Far Cry 4, where at the start of Far Cry 4 you meet the main antagonist, who's voiced by Troy Baker. Because of course he is Pagan Min, and he's like he's basically a dictator, and he's like, I'll take you to your mother's grave, just give me 10 minutes and I'll be right back, and he pisses off. And obviously the game, that's when you try and make your escape, the thing comes up, make your escape. If you actually sit there for 10 minutes, a cutscene plays and he takes you to the fucking end of the game and the credits roll. And it's literally, it's one of those beautiful things where it's like, that's the kind of shit that I love, when it's like...
Nier Automata has like a dozen of these.
Yeah, where it's like, you just like, wait 10
minutes. You can
minutes.
remove your processing chip.
Yeah.
I just did that once. I was like, I wonder what happens if and then it gave me a credit sequence. I'm like, oh, cool.
That's a good way of subverting expectations. Having you win a boss fight only for you to get pub stomped is not a good way to subvert your expectations and go, oh, come on. Especially when you do it in every fucking chapter of your video games, looking at you, Monolith Soft, please.
Yeah.
There's better character growth than having you win a fight and then lose it. Just let me lose it. Literally kick me to the ground.
Dude, just let me lose. Let me feel helpless.
If you want Jin to win in that fight, then literally have him be level
Just
60 and just slash me, dude. Yeah.
Legit. Don't give me hope.
No, yeah, it's so dumb. I agree. It's a very stupid trope, and I don't like it. I'm sure there'll be ones that aren't just JRPGs soon, guys. I promise you, we're not just kicking the shit out of RPGs, but, you know.
They're just an easy target.
They are an easy
target. Because they have a lot of stuff in them.
And it's also because they don't like change. They're like the most... Like, they're still making games like it's the 90s at times, and they just don't care. Okay, Hunter, coming back to you. You going to bring us some positivity?
Right.
Or are you going to bring us some
No,
negativity?
instead we'll slap around a thing that isn't a JRPG.
Okay, that sounds fine.
Games with boss fights that shouldn't have boss fights. Off the top of my head, Uncharted comes to mind.
I love it, because in my head I was like, what's he mean, like Uncharted 2? Like,
yeah, Uncharted. Dying Light was one of these where you had this whole stupid confrontation at the end of the game that boiled down to a quick time event. Far Cry's guilty of that too. You beat up Vaz in a quick time event.
Can I suggest a couple?
Yeah, sure.
Assassin's Creed games where they traded out the assassinations for actual things you just had to slash a million times. We can fuck those ones off.
Those suck.
I also want to give a shout out to a game that I hold very dear to my heart. My game of the year so far this year, Horizon Forbidden West. I will allow machines to be boss fights. Why the fuck are we having human boss fights, dude? Why the fuck are there humans that there's story reasons, but it's stupid that I'm sitting there spamming 6 million
ride a
bows
machine
into humans. Yeah, no. Humans should just fuck off. I love the idea that in Horizon, you have two types of gameplay. You have big machines that are kind of boss fighty, and then you have humans that are more the stealth kind of skill approach, where it's like, get a headshot, they die because they're fucking squishy. And it's like, why are there these non-squishy humans that take 6 million fucking bow shots? Like, it's dumb. No, I don't care if there's a story reason. It's dumb.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
It's like, Aloy. It's not so great when someone else can do it too.
Mm-hmm.
I can eat the berries of healing too.
That's literally Uncharted 2. Berries of Healing is literally fucking Uncharted 2. That is genuinely the fucking plot. He literally is like, look, it's the Great Berry Bush, dude. It's literally that Spyro 2 level. It's that Spyro 2 level with the hippos and the Great Berry Bush. And instead of going big, fucking, he just goes like really fucking like hench, and he's like, no, you cannot stop me now. And then Nathan Drake's like, hold on a second, let me run around for 6 years, realize that this boss fight's bullshit, and look up the glitch spot that everyone knows on YouTube. That is the Uncharted 2 ending experience. And it's so awful.
The ending of the first one also sucked.
At least that's more like a quick time event like thing. Uncharted 2 has like my least favorite final boss fight, I think, in video game history. Where it's like, it's not one of those where it's like, this game's so bad and the boss is bad. It's like, Naughty Dog is a competent developer. How the fuck did they think this is fun? This is playable. In crushing mode, literally just use the glitch. Don't even play it properly. It's dumb, bad, awful.
I wouldn't play Uncharted 2 on crushing mode anyway. The game is hardly fun on normal.
It's true. But no, I agree. Games with bosses, not needed. Not needed.
Or games that aren't designed around having
Sorry,
bosses.
that's what I meant. Story games that don't necessarily need bosses, I agree. Not needed.
Yeah.
Can I also add one, dude, to do with bosses? Guys, I think we've grown tired. I think we've grown. I think we've matured enough in the video game industry to have bosses in 3D platformers and 2D platformers that aren't just jump on their fucking head 3 times. I think we've grown past this.
Mario hasn't.
Yeah, Mario hasn't. Donkey Kong hasn't. Nintendo hasn't.
Truth.
I just think we have gotten past the times where we need just bonk the fucker on the head 3 times. It's not fun. It never was fun. It never was fun. But at least on the NES...
You just couldn't do anything else in a 2D game.
But at least on the NES or the SNES, you were like, oh, you know, this is so cool. Because, like, video games were so simple back then. But the fact that we got to the N64 and the PS1 and we were still doing this shit. And then it's like, we got to the PS2 and the fucking GameCube, still doing this shit. Get to the Wii. I know that's a casual console, but we're here. And it's like 3D World, fucking boom
Odyssey.
everywhere, dude.
Yeah.
Odyssey. I'm like, can we just have some variety, please? And people are going to literally say to me, oh yeah, but remember in Odyssey, in Bowser's boss fight, you don't jump on him. You have to grab his hat and then hit him 3 times. Remove the 3.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Why?
Like,
Don't need
literally,
3.
if you just remove the arbitrary number, it works better.
Yeah. It's even the same.
Celeste's one boss fight has the same process of bonk their head, but first of all, the journey to get to the actual head bonking is wacky,
challenging.
And you do it several times until it feels like it's done.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. I just don't get the 3 times rule, especially jumping on 3 times. Don't get it. Because I think there's like one game that does do it right. People can love or hate Crash, but I think bosses, Crash does a lot well with, because like they're unique. You can say what you want. There's shit bosses, there are good bosses, but they're unique. It's like if you look at Crash 4, dude, literally Engine's boss fight is basically a game of Guitar Hero, but you need to avoid all the hits. You're trapped on the Guitar Hero like plane of existence, and you've got to escape them. And it's like, yeah, that's still a boss where you have to hit him 4 times, but there's actually shit in between. That's not the main goal. There's so much there's other layers to it, and actual skill involved.
Dude, there's platforming in that platforming boss.
Yeah,
fucking
that's
wild.
You guys hate Tiny and Crash too because of
that's just hopscotch.
Yeah, but you know, at least it was platforming in the platforming game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just, I don't know. It's gotten boring. It never was entertaining, dude. I think that's why I don't like Mario games as much. And like Mario bosses are just non-existent in my head because they're not good bosses. They never have been.
One of my favorites is from Mario Odyssey, when you get to that giant dragon boss in like Ruined Kingdom or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And then it just has like the most lame attack patterns you've ever seen. Then it slaps its head down on the arena, and you just pull the pins out of his head, and then you just ground pound him 3 times.
Yeah,
that's it. That's the big Dark Souls dragon boss. You sit on him.
People say Dark Souls for whatever reason. I was literally like, man, this is a really dumbed down God of War boss. Not like new God of War either. It's like an old God of War boss, but dumbed down for children.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Like I say, I feel like we got past that. And Mario has done stuff like that, but it never does anything interesting. Like Nintendo love, and they absolutely adore it. They love
the severed head with the hands.
The hand-eye bosses.
The hand-eye bosses they do love. But what I was going to say was, they really love using the excuse of, we only make a new game in a franchise when we found something fun or innovative to do with it. That's their excuse they use for never making another F-Zero game in their life, by the way. That is the excuse they're going to use.
Mario.
But at the same time, they will release 2 Splatoon games on the exact same console, and they will release the same 2D Mario game every year for the next 6 million years, because that's what they'll do. They will make another new soup. Every boss will be a fucking bounce on their fucking head 3 times. And it's like, Bowser will become giant at the end. Spoiler alert for all of these video games. I hate to break it to you. But they masquerade it by going, oh, maybe you'll control Bowser at the end, who knows? And then everyone's like, innovation. And I love Odyssey, don't get me wrong. But Nintendo just needs to, especially in certain games, needs to buck up their ideas and do some new shit, because it's boring. 3 times is boring. Anyway, that's my one. Kyle.
I have one that also ties into boss fights, and it's when bosses don't change their patterns and they just go on for way too long of you just doing the same thing. This is the kind of thing that put me off wanting to play Chris Tales. I'm sorry, Hunter, but
fair enough.
Like, the time warping mechanics in that game was cool. It's a really cool idea, but the bosses just, at least what I played, I didn't play a lot of it, but the bosses really didn't like do a great job with it.
The weird thing is, it's like oddly front loaded in that regard, where
really?
Because you're weaker, it takes longer to kill them. I was smacking things around later in the game at a quicker pace. It was interesting in that sense.
Shame I'll never get there. But like that first boss with the massive shield that you have to rust, like, it's like, okay, I figured out the weakness. Why is this boss still going?
Yeah. That's understandable. Yeah, I'm never a fan of when bosses are too long either. Like, that's the reason, like, a lot of super bosses in games don't interest me, in the sense, like, I'm never gonna fight Penance in Final Fantasy X, because that boss fight's like, it's like, what, 3 hours?
Dude, turn-based RPGs,
not fun.
Those are just damage checks. Those are just DPS checks. That's all they are. It is, can you do enough damage before you die? It's not good.
I mean, I think that's what all bosses are.
Hunter? Shush.
Yeah, I think we just figured out video games, ladies and gentlemen. We did it.
Can you do enough damage before you die?
It's like...
Holy shit, we figured them out.
DMC3, like, as much as I love that game, like, the horse boss, fucking atrocious.
Yeah, horse is not fun.
Garyon is a miserable boss. It's just the same thing.
Gigapede sucks too.
Gigapede sucks.
Yeah, the Leviathan heart not good either.
Yeah,
those are like 3 off the top of my head that don't change anything, except maybe Leviathan adds a couple more lasers.
Yeah, like,
but
Garyon, you just have to chase or wait for him to come back to you while he runs around the Coliseum. It's like, okay.
Gigapede just adds more bullets.
I'm tired of doing the right thing. Can this boss just be over now? Please.
Yeah. It's crazy that those can feel old in their own encounter, and then you fight Virgil 3 times and he adds new tricks every time.
Yeah, Virgil's great.
It's funny in that way.
But even like the fight with Beowulf in that game, like, as he loses health, his patterns start to change. He adds more moves into his arsenal that you have to learn to get around.
When you get towards the end, he goes absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one move where he just charges around the tiny arena that you're boxed into, and you're like, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
How dodge? Oh, Royal Guard.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
What about you, Ethan? You got anything to tack onto this?
No.
Any bosses that scarred your experiences?
I hate video game bosses in general, dude. They suck.
Yeah, I remember when we did that one topic a while ago.
Hunter, I didn't remember what we did last week.
The best and worst bosses.
I remember a while ago.
From a while ago, Ethan Ethan had to be like, what defines a boss? To spend the rules on what he could put on there.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the only reason he didn't give me shit for my picks.
Yeah, it's very true. I don't know. To me, it's like, yeah, bosses, change their moves, but also I feel like, again, you got your bullet sponges, but it's also like just shit when it's just like, we've made this so that 90% of people will never know how to dodge this. You're just gonna fucking take the death and take the damage. Be a bitch. Looking at you, Melania. Absolute tragedy of a boss fight, and it's all because of one move. It's all because of one move. That's the thing is, the rest of the boss fight, fantastic. It's just a shame that they literally made one move that literally drops it to make it the worst thing that I've ever experienced in my life. That it's just not fun. It's like, imagine it all coming down to one fuck up and it's just an entire move. Tragic. Anyway. But other than that, no. I don't mind if it's short and sweet. Then yeah, I don't mind it being a singular like kind of boss pattern or whatever recognition. But yeah, if you're gonna go on forever, at least change it up a little bit, and not in a bullshit way that just instantly kills you and sends you back to the fucking first.
It should expand on what it was doing, without being super stupid.
Like don't just let me go into autopilot.
And if you're gonna have multiple phases, let's restart from phase if the phases are really long, for fuck's sake. Anyway. Hunter?
Hi Kingdom Hearts.
Hi Kingdom Hearts.
Dynamic music in video games is a trend that I've begun to really enjoy. Examples of this, Metal Gear Rising does it to absolute perfection. The game's basically a musical. Where you'll do like the first part of when you get them down to like the last phase of their fight, you know, the lyrics of the song will kick in, and it's great. It's a great punctuation for the coolest moments of the fight. Devil May Cry 5 implemented this with their dynamic tracking, where when you get the triple S ranks and stuff, that's when the words kick in for Devil Trigger and stuff. So it makes your experience for when you're at your coolest punctuated by something out of the ordinary.
Because you got the hype part of the song playing.
Yeah.
It just feels good. This is something that I really wished Persona 5 did. Persona 5 Royal especially did. Like, I've thought about this. Just imagine if, like, whenever you enter a fight in that game, the regular base P5 song starts playing. I don't remember what it's called. I'm blanking on that right now.
Last surprise.
That one. And then after you do an all-out attack, Takeover starts playing. The chorus kicks in to take over, and then that just plays for the rest of the fight. Like, just imagine how cool that would be.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. That would be interesting.
Yes.
Super Giants games do it too, but in a different way, where like with Hades, for example, it'll be the same track for your run up to the section of the dungeon, and then when you get to like the mini boss, or sometimes if you're quick about it, it'll time out to be the just boss fight you're doing, will be when the actual like memorable part of the song kicks in. Because like a lot of those are like 8-minute tracks, and sometimes I don't even know what the beginning of it like is when I'm like listening to it on the MP3 and stuff. I'll not remember what it is until it gets to like minute 4, and I'll be like, oh, it's this one.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't know, like dynamic music can be good, but there's also times where they use it as a fucking selling point and it's just a cop-out and stuff like that, where it's like fucking Reignited Trilogy, where it just adds a fucking bongo in the background when you're sprinting, and I'm like, okay, you do you guys. It's dynamic music now, because when he's sprinting, someone's got the fucking...
Oh, really? I didn't know they tried to advertise that.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It was a feature, and I'm like, wow, you really knew how to add that bongo at the bottom, dude. There you go. Wow. You love to see it. I don't know.
Fighting games also do dynamic music really well. In BB Tag, whenever Yang gets into like critical health, her semblance activates, and then I Burn starts to play. That song has traumatized me now. So, and the worst part is that it stays playing for the rest of the fight.
Well, even if she tags out or something?
Even if she dies, that song keeps going.
That's hilarious.
And then Guilty Gear, the older Guilty Gears had a really good one. Soul Bad Guy. He's got this dragon install transform he can do. And again, music, whatever song was playing stops, and then his theme song, Ride the Fire, starts playing. It's just a kick-ass song. Like, Guilty Gear does music so well.
Did you say this guy's name was Soul Bad Guy?
That's his name, dude. Soul Bad Guy.
That's a Kojima name if I ever heard one.
Yeah, it is. Definitely a Kojima ass name. Is it my turn?
If you want it to be, I can go. No, if you still need time.
I could think of something. No, I'm trying to find the energy. That's what I'm trying to find because I'm like dying inside. It's like the wind has left the sail, dude. I'm just fucking stranded right now. I'm like, oh no, what am I to do? But no, we'll make it out. It's fine. It's fine. I hate when fucking. I fucking hate when video games pull an early death on a fucking character just for the sake of motivating characters to do something, and it's so fucking tedious and pointless. And they try and act as if it's like a tragedy for you when you hardly fucking know the character. It's like, what's the point? It's like, again, JRPGs love to do this, where it's just like, quickly sacrifice childhood friend, quickly sacrifice random guy that you just met,
random old guy.
And it's like, I just hate it. I mean, even
a lot of
Western
times
games do this
it's
as well,
super telegraphed.
Yeah.
Like Joel's daughter wasn't on the box of The Last of Us, so
yeah, exactly. Same with Rust and Zero Dawn. It's like, oh yeah, you're not in the trailers. You were in the trailers like for the very start, but you're not in the end parts of the trailers. Guess you're not making it much longer. It's like, it's just stupid.
That was my favorite part of Zero Dawn.
Yeah, and it's just like, just fucking cliff, dude. Bye.
Survive. Flings her off the cliff.
Fucking reenacts fucking Mufasa, dude. Goodbye.
What a video game.
Thank you, Dojima.
Shame I'll never play it. Thank you, Dojima.
But yeah, it's dumb. But yeah, I just don't like when they just use those for the sake of it, because I feel like it's just really there's better ways to give motivation. You don't just need to kill someone off straight away for motivation. I'm not saying don't kill characters off, because obviously you've got to do that for a lot of things for the stakes, and I have no problem with it. I also do kind of also hate when in video games your main party or your main characters almost feel immune at a certain stage where you feel like you're not going to lose anybody. I feel like some games, again, not naming names, cough cough, Persona 5, really might benefit from having some kind of stakes, because it has stakes in terms of consequences. It does not have stakes in terms of like actual like impact. Like, oh no, if we get full, we're gonna get arrested. Oh no, we're breaking the law. We're criminals here. Oh no, so some horrible person's gonna be prime minister, right? But it's never like any stakes, and they're close to doing stakes, and then they bait it out every time they fucking try and get close to stakes. And it's like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I get that it's like, hey, we don't want to kill off a character because we don't want to lock out social links, but it's also like, even in Royal, they went back on stuff that they originally sat on without trying to spoil stuff, and it's like, even then, it's like, it's like, death just doesn't exist in some video games when it should, and then in others, the only character that dies is one at the start just to push the protagonist forward, and it's like, what's the point in that? It's like...
Oh, my favorite is when it's the one death at the beginning and then no one else is even... It's like, oh, you're gonna live. So are you.
Yeah. And it's just like I say, it does nothing for me. It does nothing for me. It's like, yeah, they need motivation, but why is everybody's fucking like go-to? They look up at the game design Bible, and it's like, does your character need motivation? Well, have I got the product for you? Introducing dead relative, and it's like,
introducing gun.
Yeah, introducing fucking dead fucker in the first 3 hours. And it's like, oh wow, perfect. All of my problems are solved, and it's just like, no.
Now you just have bad writing. Oops.
Not necessarily bad, like, but it's just so
lazy writing.
Lazy. It's lazy. It's not bad because there's some.
A lot of times, I find myself preferring if like the whole dead person vengeance quest, like the whole death part of it, was just in the backstory, and then maybe develop why that matters so much to the character, rather than be like, oh. Yeah, it sucks they're dead in the first hour. Feels bad, man.
Yeah. No, but yeah, that's one thing that annoys me. Kyle, over to you, my good friend.
All right, so this one is I don't even know how to classify this. It's not a video game trope. It's kind of just like discussion around video games.
Oh, epic.
Oh,
It's
cool.
when some genius on Twitter just looks at like speedrunning, for example. When someone does a glitch in speedrunning and they're like, you didn't even play the fucking video game. All you did was just glitch to the end. That's not playing the game. You took a shortcut.
Yeah, was this Twitter tropes, dude? I love
Dude, and this
Twitter
is like
tropes.
Telling people how to play the
Gaming
game.
Twitter tropes, dude.
This
I
was
love that.
like, so Elden Ring is a hot button video game this year, and its speedrun, at bare minimum, last time I checked, was under 7 minutes. Start to finish, game credits rolled,
Yeah.
and then some, like, you don't even have to dig for the comments that be like, you didn't even play the video game, dude. You just cheated to the end. It's
My
like,
favorite
bro,
one of these.
you're just
was
completely
those-
missing the point of this right now.
My favorite one of these was there was a developer that was talking about, I don't know if it was Elden Ring, but it was definitely a recent video game speedrun. And they were like, I see this, it's like, this seems pointless. It's like, what's the point if you're skipping like the entire game? It's like, you just wasted, it's like, you're not even playing any of the game. And then everybody came to everyone in the replies was like, you do realize that the people that are finding these glitches and are doing these things in these
They've
games
played the
have
game
played through
probably
the entire
enough
game
to
before
want
they've
to do
even
it.
Yeah.
had the intention of speedrunning. Not everybody is a day one Andy. Let's get on that leaderboard, boys. Let's go. 7-hour speed run, world record, day one world record. Let's go. No,
Exactly.
it's very stupid to assume that. Oh yeah, that's it. They finished the game in 6 minutes, and that's their only playthrough. By the way,
Exactly.
they
That's all they're
reforged the
doing.
Elden Ring, guys. They reforged the Elden Ring in 6 minutes. That's all they did. Hit that Steam refund.
Mm.
No, it just doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. It's stupid.
And like those kinds of like glitch heavy speedruns, like most of the time that's not shit you're gonna find on accident.
No.
Like you have
No,
to be
no.
trying to do what they do in the Elden Ring speedrun. And so
Mhm.
this is also like discourse that I see in fighting games with like top tier characters, where all the chuckle fucks who don't understand the game or look at the top tiers and they're like, damn, these characters are so easy to play. You don't even have to try to play them. And it's like, okay, if we don't have to try to play these characters, why isn't everybody playing these characters?
Very
Like,
true.
it's just, I'm tired of people acting like they know what they talk about.
One of my favorites is when a game that was not great gets grandfathered into being good because now it's old enough to be.
Hell yeah, dude. See
Mm.
every
Inversely-
Pokemon fan.
Inversely, every new game in the series is bad
Hell
until it's
yeah.
not the newest game
See
in the
every
series
Pokemon
anymore.
fan.
Dude, I was having a talk with a friend about this. It's like my favorite time of the year is when the latest Pokemon game that turns 7 years old is automatically good again. It's like you have to spend 7 years in bad prison and then you're allowed into good prison. Because they still hate it because they're Pokemon fans, but you get taken to, instead of in solitary confinement, you're allowed out with the rest of the Pokemon games. You're allowed to, you can go out to the fucking the grounds. You can shoot some hoops with Gen 3. You can go and vibe nights and while you're free. The day Sun and Moon gets let out, that's the time when I start becoming like fucking against it, and I'll start writing to my local government going, "What the fuck is happening here? You let Sun and Moon out?"
I think that's next year. That game came out 2016, didn't it?
That's where I draw the line, dude. I'm voting. Make sure to vote in that election, guys, because that shit's rigged. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, it's just
I mean, sometimes old things that didn't get talked about were just bad.
Yeah.
It's possible.
True. But yeah, it's always funny. I hate it. Twitter sucks, dude. Twitter's
It really does.
literally like people don't realize that
It's
opinions
just a
are just
cesspool of
opinions.
bad
Dude.
opinions.
People, opinions are opinions, guys. You don't need to agree with everything that everybody says on the internet.
Dude, and
That's cool.
you also don't need to have an opinion on everything.
It's true. You
Think
don't need
about
to have an
it.
opinion on everything.
Think
Very
about it.
true. No, seriously, think about it.
No, seriously.
No, seriously. Also, while we're at it, guys, your console is not your life. It's not your religion. You can own more than one console. and you don't have to.
It'll be okay.
Yeah, it's okay. And no, Fall Guys is not a dead game. Please stop typing that. While I at it. There's a big announcement for Fall Guys on the day this podcast goes out. Shout outs to the guys at Mediatonic for HGO cursing us in advance. We love it. Love to see it.
Well, I mean, you said not a dead game, so that would actually be speaking something into existence.
I have a feeling that the game's going to go free to play, so I can't really say. For that compliment, Mediatonic, please send us free copies of whatever you're doing to Fall Guys. But, alas. No. Hunter?
I really hate when games that don't need it have like superfluous RPG mechanics in it.
Oh, fucking push it to the back.
Dude, God of War 2018 did not need equipment.
No.
That could get out.
It doesn't. Fucking Assassin's Creed Origins. Assassin's Creed was more fun when it was actual Assassin's Creed. It was more fun.
I watched the thing for Gotham Knights this week, and when they were like, "Oh, adjust the equipment to blah blah blah," I'm like, "Man, I don't want that."
Crafting materials suck ass, dude. Can't we just be straight?
That too. I'm not a fan of that.
My next one was actually going to be, and it links into this as well, guys. Not every game needs a skill tree. Can I get an amen? Dude?
Yeah, that was on mine too. I would prefer to buy them. I would prefer to buy them from a list.
Dude, action RPGs don't need a skill tree. If you're going to give me a level up system, don't also give me a skill tree, Scarlet Nexus. Give me abilities as I level up. Please.
I get the idea. Sometimes people are like, "Oh, well, we want to give you the choice of what you unlock first." But when
you're
it's
gonna unlock everything anyways,
it's like stupid, yeah. Especially when you've very obviously got stuff that you want people to upgrade. When one of them is like, increase headshot accuracy by 2%, and then the other one is increase health by 50%. It's like, oh, I wonder which one you want me to take. It's like, which one do you want me to take, dude? Oh, I wonder. It's like, no, stupid. And it's like, again, games that don't need them. Assassin's Creed, I was never asking in Assassin's Creed, what if we took all the moves and spread them across a skill tree that takes way too fucking long? No one asked for that. No one asked for it, dude. No one asked for it. Literally zero people asked for it.
I much prefer the more simple upgrade your health and your ammo capacity or whatever applies. Like the Doom games had the health upgrade, shield, and then there was a third one that is escaping me.
If you
ammo.
Also, if you want a crafting resource in a video game, which I think's an L anyway, but if you really want to have crafting in your video game, one resource. Literally, have it. I don't want to know what you want to call it. Call it credits, call it iron, whatever you want to fucking call it. Just one. Why the fuck do I need fucking iron and bronze and gold and blooming platinum and every kind of element of metal under the sun just to give my fucking character a new hat? It's stupid. It's fucking stupid. There is more gold going into this hat than there probably is in the National Reserve. Like, it's stupid. Like, why the fuck? Why the fuck do I need 30 gold bars? It's stupid. I don't get it. It's like, just have it all be one thing and have it just constantly upgrade. It's so dumb. Don't make me work for it. Don't make me work for it. Stupid.
The legendary armors and/or weapons that I happened to get in Horizon did not see very many upgrades because I just did not go collect the things for it.
No. Also, that's also a thing. Streamline your upgrades, dude. I don't want to go and get some thimbleweed thorns and some fucking twiggy twigs to go and upgrade everything and then level it up once and then go, oh no, now you need thistle thorns and I don't know, fucking big rocks. I'm like, great, thanks. Like, come on.
I would if I was already stuck in the crafting prison that they had crafted for me. I would prefer to just have same thing but more if that's what you're gonna do, rather than go find a brand new substance out in Antarctica.
Yeah, or just and if that is a crafting option, let me press X and then fucking highlight the closest one of it on my minimap. Don't say to me, oh, you know what? You need daisies, dude. And I'm like, that's nice. Where are daisies? And it's like, I'm sorry, bro. That's IGN's job, not mine. I'm like, you put it in the fucking game. Tell me where it is.
Have you checked the Wikia?
Tell me.
Have you tried looking up on YouTube so that I can see like, hey guys, it's Xbox Dude 420 here. I'm here to tell you where to find thistle thorns in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So what you want to do is you want to go to this specific fucking corner of the map. And I'm like, no, this is.
But first,
YouTube tropes that I hate, intros that take way too long.
But first, 95% of my viewers aren't subscribed.
We get that. Where do we
Maybe it's because you're making a tutorial for a game.
Where do we get that?
People don't care about you.
Dude, guys, did you know that 100% of you aren't subscribed? You fucking cowards! Get in here. Don't be scared. The water's great. It's gonna be fun. But no, it's like, yeah, I just. I hate it. I hate any kind of upgrade system that is so stupidly convoluted. Like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, guys. Just streamline it. Just a little bit. Just a stream. And by the way, just while we're here, did you know that 53.6% of our people that watch our videos are not subscribed? So please subscribe. I finally found the bar. But actually, to be fair, 46% of you are subscribed, which is pretty cool. Thank you for that, regulars. We appreciate you. But 53%
subscribed.
That means there's more of you fuckers that don't hang around.
Is that just from the total? Because
that's in watch time in the last 28 days. So out of the last 28 days, 53% of people did not subscribe. How dare you? We make great content. Not this episode, but other episodes are pretty great.
But this Friday, look forward to that content.
Yeah, yes. It's going to be great.
Now I have a second thing to edit out if it's terrible. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, Kyle, I kind of just backed it on to Hunters, so have you got another one? Is this your last one?
Yeah.
We'll do one more round then. One more round.
This one is just I just titled this video game puzzles. So it's the kind of thing that like you'd only find. It's like, it ties back to my first thing where it's like you'd only see this in video games. It's like, so the example I had, Resident Evil 2. Resident
Evil loves its stupid video game puzzles. And the funniest part is 2 got rid of a lot of the stupid video game-isms of the puzzles. Because classic Resi loves its stupid, like, rotate the sundial to assemble the shrine of the silver monkey to move into the next room.
I've just got to say this anecdote really quick. And we just made that whole subscriber bit. We literally just went up a subscriber as of recording.
Oh,
that's hilarious.
That's creepy, dude. That's creepy. Anyway, carry on. I'm like, wow, it works.
Yeah, the puzzle that jumped out to me was in Claire's story when you're playing as Sherry for that little section.
Man,
she gets locked in a room, and to get out of the room, you need to. So first off, the door's locked, and you need to do a match the blocks puzzle to get a pair of scissors to go cut through like a part of the wall that has a hole in it, I guess. And that's how you get out of the room. And it's like, this is such a video game solution that like you wouldn't see this in anything else. Like, dude,
I love those. It's like that's like puzzle, like action adventure game, like rule number 1, point and click adventure game rule number 1, dude. Where it's like, yes, I have to use the screwdriver on the egg and then use the screwdriver egg on the fucking branch, and then there you go. That's now the egg stuck with the screwdriver in the branch, and then that lets the big fucking dodo bird fly in, and he fucking loves the egg.
Flashbacks to 12 minutes now.
And then it ends up that the fucking dodo and the screwdriver are related, and you're like, wow, that's crazy. Who would have guessed?
Yeah. Oh man, Silent Hill is guilty of this as much as Resident Evil was with their silly, like, I remember in Silent Hill 2, there was like a door that didn't have a handle anymore. You needed like a horseshoe, some kind of sticky thing, and something to melt it were the 3 items you like threw at the door. or whatever. And then it was like pull, and I'm like, yep, only in video games do we find these silly scenarios.
Yeah.
Like DMC3 had the same issue where I know it like stemmed off of Resident Evil, so it has all the same building blocks. But it's like, do you remember you got this item? Do you remember the one specific
those
place
aren't
it's
really,
gotta go?
I wouldn't call those puzzles so much as just weird looking keys.
Just do you remember?
Do you remember where the slot that this key item goes is?
Like, by the way, this little rock lets you walk over air, but only in this one specific room.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Dummy.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Right, Hunter, one more.
Video games.
One more. I guess I'll end on a positive note.
Okay.
I love final battles that conclude with a one-on-one sword fight and or fisticuffs. It's my favorite thing.
Mm-hmm.
Metal Gear Solid does that in the whole series, or at least 1 through 4. Very cool. Some of my favorite boss fights in general. 3 and 4 specifically. 2 is kind of clunky, and the first one is very basic, but Devil May Cry is good at this in 3 and 5.
Yeah. Really, any rival battle and any match of equals is like an ace for me. Like,
rival battles in general are good.
Older Pokemons do it really well, specifically like Fire Red and Leaf Green, capping off with the rival as the champion. Metal Gear Rising with the battle against Jetstream Sam.
Oh, that one's so good.
Is he friends with Cowboy?
I wish I could play it, but whatever.
What'd you say, Ethan?
Is he friends with Cowboy Bebop? Fucking Jetstream.
He would probably be buddies with him.
Jetstream Sam.
Sam's a cool guy.
Yeah. Does he have a fucking brother called Gulfstream Tony, dude? Like, how's that work?
No, but all of his friends are named after some kind of silly wind kind of gimmick. So there's that.
Tornado Pete.
There's a guy named Monsoon.
Oh, Monsoon Jeff, he's a classic. Dude, we love him.
Just Monsoon.
No, he's secret. He doesn't like people. He doesn't like people knowing that his actual name's Jeff. No, people don't like that, dude. Don't get me started on Hurricane
Jeff.
Billy, dude.
Hurricane Billy. That's funny because people give hurricanes names over here.
They do here too.
Man.
Like, we give them storms, dude. It's like we have you guys will have like you'll give them stupid names. It's like, yeah, but we have like Storm Doris, and it's like, oh no, Doris is coming for us, boys. Run away.
Yeah. Before Breath of the Wild, Zola was on a streak of really good finale sword fights.
Mm.
Like from the one in Wind Waker was cool. Twilight Princess had a good one. I liked fighting Demise a lot as well. All of those were great.
Demise and Girahim both did well.
Yeah, those were both really good.
No, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I can't think of another one to end on. So I guess we'll end with you, Hunter. So there you go. That was a good one.
Well, there we go.
Cool.
We ended positively.
That's what we love to do on the HGO podcast.
Go team.
It's just a positive place for a positive environment where we love to respect.
Fucking subscribe.
Now fucking subscribe. Has anyone else done it?
And gently tap the bell for notifications.
No. Smash that bell.
Smash that bell. All notifications, not just certain ones, you fucking pussies. You watch every video, damn it.
Hit it so hard that you break your mouse and or phone screen.
Hell yeah, dude. You know what that sounds
And potentially your index finger.
And especially your index finger.
And hey, don't you podcast listeners, don't you think like you're getting off lightly either. I'm expecting 5-star reviews on my desk in the morning, and if I don't
in the morning.
Yeah.
It won't be up yet, Ethan.
No, well, I'm talking to you're ruining the magic, Hunter. I'm talking to them in their morning. Think about it. Anyway, that's been our show.
Just do it right now.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a
2
short.
seconds.
Yeah, it takes 2 seconds. But you can leave us a comment as well if you want to leave us a funny one. That's great. Dude. Like, just be like, oh yeah, excellent discussion, thoroughly engaging.
Peepo clap.
I sure do love poorly or very clumsily spoken
I would really
Lord of the Rings analogies.
I would really, really appreciate it if everyone just left a 5-star review with the fucking with the words free and competent on it, and then literally like every review
that would be funny.
And then Apple will be like, are they botting? Like everyone keeps saying free and competent.
No, it's just the motto.
Yeah. But yeah.
It's like the opposite of you, Apple. Superfluous and expensive.
Wow, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, Apple, you're definitely superfluous and expensive, and I definitely do not own any Apple products. Definitely not. Definitely not. I swear. It's the convenience, I swear. Anyway. Yeah, that's been our show anyway. As always, our links are on screen. Where's the button? Where's the button? Where's the button? Nah. Right now. There you go. You can go follow us on Twitter if you want to keep up to date with us and want to know, wow, they have real technological skill here at the HGO podcast. I want to go follow them to see how they make this show work. But hey, if you don't want to keep up with how technically skilled I am, that's cool too. You can go and just follow us on the regular Twitter at Hot Gamers Only. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Hot Gamers Only. And hey, if you don't want to look at our stupid faces, that's cool too. You can head to your favorite podcast service, search for Hot Gamers Only on either Spotify, Apple Podcasts, you name it, we're on it. You can go find us, or head to the link tree in the description. And yeah, with that, that's been our show. Everybody, thank you ever so much for listening / watching. I'm sitting here going, short episode, guys. It's like we used to do 50-minute episodes at one point, dude. We used to
remember at the start of this when we struggled to hit an hour.
Yeah. And now we'll just talk nonsense for 20 minutes about something trivial.
Well, the only reason
we just stopped caring about the content.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. No, it's just this. We could have done this for 2 hours, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm being selfish. I've been away all weekend, so I'm like, I'm tired. I don't know if I can last another half an hour. There was a point in this episode. Go back and watch it. It was about the 40-50 minute mark.
About the part where you said the wind in the sails was leaving.
That literally, that was when I left. That's when I left. It left at that moment, and I was like, off I go. And it was just like, Kyle, it was the one where you were talking about bosses. I did not listen to a word you said. I snapped.
Yeah,
I
could tell.
I was like, I'm gone. Gotta pick this up. But it's all fun. It's all games. It was not you, Kyle. It is me.
I know.
My fatigue. I apologize.
You're sleepy. I get it.
But next week, we'll be back to normal. Just regular sleep
is for me.
Yeah. We've still got more topics to do, dude. We've still got more topics. Plenty to see, plenty to do. But yeah, you'll have to wait until next week, same time, same place, to find out what that is. But until then, have an awesome week. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye.
See ya.
Toodaloo.